Apple Intelligence is the latest big thing from Apple. They talked about it during their Worldwide Developer Conference in June, the iPhone 16 event, during the iMac announcement, the Mac Mini announcement, and the MacBook Pro announcement. It's also been featured in TV ads, social media ads, and on billboards. But according to a survey from CNET, 73% of iPhone owners say new AI features add little or no value to their phone experiences. In fact, many users don't even know what Apple Intelligence is. So let's talk about where Apple went wrong. Their first mistake was marketing. Typically, when Apple markets a new product or feature, they highlight the tangible benefits to the user rather than the technology that enables it. For example, the original iPhone was advertised as 3 products in one: a widescreen iPod with touch controls, a mobile phone, and an internet communicator. Because back then, those were the products people used, so they instantly understood the functionality that iPhone offered. And until recently, Apple took the same approach with artificial intelligence. Back in 2011, they introduced Siri like this.
That's a feature in the iPhone 4S we call Siri. Siri is your intelligent assistant that helps you get things done just by asking.
Notice that there was no mention of artificial intelligence or machine learning, because for the user, those technologies were irrelevant. They simply wanted to know how Siri would improve their lives. When introducing Deep Fusion with iPhone 11 Pro, Apple did describe the technology behind it, but also made the benefits to the user clear.
So this is a photo that was shot on an iPhone 11 Pro using this Deep Fusion technology. And this kind of an image would not have been possible before. We use machine learning to take this photo in low to medium light, and it's unlike anything possible with an iPhone camera before.
Now compare those clips with the introduction of Apple Intelligence.
With iOS 18, iPadOS 18, and macOS Sequoia, we are embarking on a new journey to bring you intelligence that understands you. Apple Intelligence is the personal intelligence system that puts powerful generative models right at the core of your iPhone, iPad, and Mac. It draws on your personal context to give you intelligence that's most helpful and relevant for you. It protects your privacy at every step, and it is deeply integrated into our platforms and throughout the apps you rely on to communicate, work, and express yourself.
I don't think the average person understood what any of that meant. And while Federighi did eventually cover specific capabilities of Apple Intelligence, the benefits were more ambiguous than in the past, which was caused by Apple focusing on a technology, generative AI, rather than tangible features. Plus, the list of AI benefits were so long that nothing in particular could stand out. For example, I showed someone the cleanup feature from iOS 18 and their eyes lit up. It's technically an Apple Intelligence capability, but that didn't matter. They saw the benefit of the feature and wanted it. So why was the term Apple Intelligence created in the first place? Well, that brings us to Apple's next mistake: copying the competition. Meta named their AI technology Llama, Google named theirs Gemini, and Samsung called it Galaxy AI. Instead of creating their own AI marketing strategy, Apple followed the industry, focusing on an irrelevant name, Apple Intelligence, instead of specific benefits. And they put that name everywhere, on their website, billboards, TV ads, and even retail stores. But this wasn't done accidentally. It allowed Apple to advertise a special new feature that was only available on their latest products. And they weren't exactly subtle about this. The tagline for iPhone 16 was "Made for Apple Intelligence," and for 16 Pro, "Hello Apple Intelligence." They were so eager to include this technology on the latest MacBooks that they doubled their base RAM from 8GB to 16 without any price increase, which is a shocking move from Apple. But all this advertising and marketing depended on one thing: that customers would care. And based on the latest data, they don't. Despite heavily promoting Apple Intelligence with iPhone 16, total unit sales fell 2% in 2024, with industry analysts predicting iPhone shipments could be 8 to 10% lower than expected in 2025. So customers aren't seeing the appeal of Apple Intelligence, with another contributing factor being the mistakes Apple made with its rollout. Remember all those iPhone 16 ads featuring Apple Intelligence? Well, the phone didn't actually have it until a month after its release, and this caused a lot of confusion. Forums were flooded with people asking why their iPhone 16 didn't have Apple Intelligence, only to be told they'd have to wait another month to receive it. Apple was asked why they made this decision, and their answer was quite revealing. Craig Federighi said, "We knew when we started out this year that the breadth of our vision for Apple Intelligence and the road to deliver it was not all of it landing in September kind of moment. And we communicated that from the moment we introduced it at WWDC. This is a big lift, and we feel like we want to get it right. You could put something out there and have it be sort of a mess, or Apple's point of view is more like, let's try to get each piece of it right and release it when it's ready. When we think about the road for any of our features, but certainly Apple Intelligence, this isn't a one and done kind of situation. This is a many-year, honestly even decades-long arc of this technology playing out. And so we're going to do it responsibly." So if adding AI features is a decades-long arch, why announce those features before they're ready? It would be like introducing features of iOS 20 while we're still on iOS 18. It's not only misleading, but it's setting your customers up for disappointment, especially when those features are literally being advertised with your current products. And while Apple says they're letting customers know that not all AI features will be available right away, they're not doing it very well. See if you can catch it in this iPhone 16 ad. This small disclaimer was only shown for 2 seconds in a 2-minute advertisement. And that's the only time Apple mentions that some of the features shown would be delayed up to a year. Plus, the date of Apple Intelligence's release was suspiciously vague. Every disclaimer Apple used, from their website to their ads, said it would come out in fall 2024. And iPhone 16 was also set to be released in fall 2024, which may give customers the impression that they'd be released together, especially considering they were advertised together. But now we know that wasn't the case. Now, once Apple Intelligence was released in October, Apple faced another issue. Many of the features they did deliver were broken. For example, Priority Messages, which is supposed to show users their most urgent emails at the top of their inbox, was prioritizing scam messages. Something Apple maybe should have considered before releasing the feature. Even scam emails with suspicious-looking addresses were being prioritized by Apple Intelligence. This is not just embarrassing for Apple, but it increases the likelihood that users will fall for these scams, since they're being legitimized by Apple's own operating system. A truly competent AI would protect users by flagging scam messages instead of showcasing them. Another feature called Notification Summaries, which was designed to summarize multiple notifications into one, was literally spreading fake news, claiming Luke Litter won the PDC World Championship when he actually lost, and that Brazilian tennis player Rafael Nadal came out as gay when he didn't. This notification from BBC News originally read, "CEO shooting suspect Luigi Mangione in angry outburst outside court as he fights extradition to New York." But Apple Intelligence summarized it as, "Luigi Mangione shoots himself," which is a complete fabrication. A former editor of The Guardian said Apple's AI feature was clearly not ready and that it should be withdrawn, while the National Union of Journalists said Apple must act swiftly and remove Apple Intelligence to avoid misinforming the public. Now, Apple responded by saying Apple Intelligence features are in beta and we're continuously making improvements with the help of user feedback. And I hope those improvements come quickly, because with AI, companies like Apple are taking on more responsibility than ever by interpreting news headlines, rewriting your emails, and choosing which messages are most important. This is an incredible amount of power resting in the hands of a single company. And considering Apple's insistence that they took time releasing Apple Intelligence in order to, quote, get it right, they sure are getting a lot wrong, and in the process, losing the trust of their customers. Personally, I think Apple should remove the email and notification summary features until they're fixed, rather than hide behind a beta label and release small tweaks over time. I also think they shouldn't announce features that aren't ready, and definitely not advertise them with products that won't have those features for months or even years to come. So far, the execution of Apple Intelligence has been very disappointing, and I hope Apple takes these lessons to heart, because customers can only take so much before jumping ship to a different platform. This is Greg with Apple Explained. Thanks for watching till the end, and I'll see you in the next video.